Welcome to the Mike Litton Experience Podcast. Mike has over 31 years experience in real estate, finance, and investing. He's passionate about being a father, a teacher, a realtor, an investor, and a leader. Everyone has a story, and our passion is to help them tell it. And now, introducing the host of the Mike Litton Experience, Mike Litton.
So what can you expect from the Mike Litton Experience? You can expect stories that will inspire, motivate, advice that will sharpen your focus, and expert information on real estate, finance, and market conditions. Derrick?
Yes.
Evans, thank you for being here. One of my favorite people in the world.
Thank
I'm
you.
so excited about this. When I started my podcast, 45 days ago, you were one of the very first people that I wanted on. And I know you're busy, and I appreciate you doing this.
Sure.
So as we talked about, everyone has a story, and our passion is to help them tell it. So with your permission, we're going to start at the very beginning of your life and go all the way up to today. And then we can talk about anything you'd like to talk about that's happening today.
Okay.
Cool?
Sounds good.
All right. So where were you born?
Columbia, Missouri.
Okay.
October 16th, 1980.
October 16th. So you have a birthday coming
My
up.
birthday coming up. Yeah.
You share a birthday with my grandma.
Is that right?
Yeah, her birthday was on the
Very
16th.
cool. Well, cool people were born that day.
That's it, baby. That's it. That's cool. So October 16th, so you have a birthday coming up. Columbia.
Yep.
Okay.
Missouri.
Columbia, Missouri. Did you grow up there?
I did. Spent most of my time there, though. Moved around a few times because parents were divorced when I was about 4 or 5 years old, somewhere
Gotcha.
in there.
Okay.
So I tried to go live with my mom when she moved to St. Louis. Didn't work out. Wanted to come back. So lived in Columbia most of the time, and then my dad moved to Illinois for
Okay.
3 years, a little
Okay.
place called Olney, Illinois,
Okay.
where he got a teaching job. He's a mathematics professor.
Okay.
So I went with him out there because my mom had moved away from Columbia at that time, and so that was that was the only other option. Now, we moved around a lot when we were in Columbia. I moved a lot. I mean, lived in so many different homes, and went to so many different schools,
Okay.
which I think was actually an advantage in the long run. Difficult during the time, remake new friends,
Yeah.
get back into the cool crowd, whatever. But a good lesson in life on just interacting with people and not being able to get comfortable,
Yeah.
not really having the opportunity to get comfortable. So
Learning how to adapt and overcome.
yeah, had to adapt to different environments. And with the town we moved into in Illinois, Olney, Illinois, home of the white squirrels, by the way. There's white squirrels that will come eat food out of your hands.
Really?
Protected, yeah. They know that they're safe and no one's gonna
Oh,
mess with
that's
them.
so cool.
White squirrels, albino squirrels will come and they'll eat food out of your hands and just chill with you, like sit by you. It's crazy.
Wow.
Town is less than 10,000 people, so I'd never been
Tiny.
to a place like that.
Yeah.
Very, very different.
Okay.
Some bizarre stuff.
Yeah.
It was just a weird vibe all together.
Okay.
So it was interesting. I met really cool people there.
How old were you when you moved?
That was I was 12. I lived there from 12 to 14.
Okay.
So then I moved back. My mom moved back to Columbia, so I decided to move back with her.
Okay.
And just all my best friends were there. It was high school time. Wanted to go be with those
Sure.
good buddies and stuff, play sports with them and things like that.
Yeah.
So I came back, which I know was disappointing to my dad, but at the same time he understood,
Yeah.
that like, hey, we've been moving around a lot, and these haven't been the most awesome places.
Right.
He was about to move again as well to Avon, Missouri, which is just as podunk as Olney, Illinois, but just in a different place.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? Instead of going to a new podunk place,
A new small podunk
place.
place.
So he understood.
And you were 14 at the time.
I'm 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
we all made our best decisions when we were 14. So what sports did you play?
So growing up, I pretty much played everything. Excelled a lot in soccer and golf.
Okay.
So in high school, I didn't play anything but golf.
Okay.
I was gonna play baseball. I had made a travel ball team that all the kids who play on the baseball team in high school that they play on
Right.
in the summer leading up to it when I was going to be a freshman. But decided I didn't want to play travel ball because my best friend didn't make the team.
Oh.
So my best friend didn't make the team. This is really the reason I wanted to do it.
Right.
They called me up and said, "Hey, congratulations, you did great. You're on the team."
Right.
And I was like, "Yeah, actually, I'm not going to play. You guys cut Rob, so I think I'm going to just hang out with him."
Oh.
And so I didn't end up playing baseball in high school, but played everything growing up. Golf was my sport that was easy for me.
Yeah.
I grew up with the golf club in my hand pretty much. Dad's a big golfer, and so he would take me to the course when I was 4 or 5 years old, and I'd just sit there on the greens and just putt and chip around forever. And what an advantage that was for me later.
Oh, sure.
Golf competition.
Yeah, no kidding.
So when it was very easy for me to be the #1 golfer on my high school team.
Okay.
First event as a freshman, I medaled, which means I had the lowest score of everyone in the competition. And from then on, it was just, everyone expected me to beat everybody.
Yeah.
And so played a lot of golf and got burned out.
Really?
Learned what burning out is like.
Yeah.
I gave up my spot to go to state as a senior to a freshman who finished 6th. So the top 5 players go to state.
Mm-hmm. We
had a really good freshman. His name was Aaron Weir, and he was very motivated, very good player, such a good kid too, just a great kid. His dad is an asshole. I hope he hears this, but he was mean to him for no reason. But anyway, I decided to let Aaron go in my place, and no one could believe it. No one could believe that I did that willingly. They thought there must be something going on. There was all this rumors, drama. And then I showed up at state to support the guys and say, "Hey, what's going on? How'd you guys do?" And then just no one could believe that. And it's like, yeah, I could have come and I could have played, but look what Aaron shot 79, 77.
Yeah.
He did great. So
do you mind if I ask you what made you do that?
I was done.
You just had all the golf that you could stand, and you were a senior at that point. Okay.
Girls and fun was more interesting to me than golf at that point.
Okay.
I was just over it.
So you got pulled away. Okay.
Golf's a hard sport.
Yeah,
it's
it
very
is.
Individual.
Yeah.
There's no team to lean on.
True.
You don't get to get a pass. You don't get to have a bad day.
Yeah.
Or have a bad game and still win.
Right.
If you have a bad day, you have a bad day.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
no
it's
kidding.
tough. It's a tough sport where you grind and grind and grind, and I was just grinding for so many years.
Yeah.
I got so many trophies and all that stuff. I've done enough. I'm not going to play in college. I was recruited a few places. Considered going to a couple of different places that were just gorgeous. I was one of those schools in North Carolina. I was a school in Pella, Iowa. They weren't like D1 schools or anything like that, but it was going to be fun, and I was going to play golf. And I had that dream for a while, but it died my senior year. Just like, I'm done.
Okay.
I can't take it anymore.
All right. So you send number 6.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And he does well.
Great.
You're super proud of him.
Yep.
Whole thing. Doesn't feel like a sacrifice to you because you pretty much were done. So you just okay.
Not at all.
And everybody was shocked.
Nobody can believe it.
Wow. So you guys go to state. He does well.
Yeah.
Then what happens? You graduate from high school.
Yeah. Graduated from high school, went to Mizzou.
Okay.
University of Missouri.
Okay.
Columbia.
So SEC. Okay.
Had no intention of graduating. That was never on my list.
Okay. So you went there
I wanted to learn some things. I wanted to take classes that I was interested in learning more about.
Okay.
And I wanted to have the experience of going to college.
Okay.
But I had no intention of getting a degree and doing things that way.
Okay.
I just had no intention of that at all.
Okay. And that. So what classes were you interested in?
I took a lot of philosophy. I took the Calc series 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Yeah. I took geology.
Okay.
I took logic and critical thinking. I took chemistry, believe it or not, biology, a couple of the main ones that I was interested in that were very big classes, and multiple psychology classes. So it was just stuff that I was interested in taking. It was not putting me on a degree path at all.
So you kind of followed your passion.
Yeah. The
Okay.
counselors didn't know what to do with me. Like, well, you have to declare this so we know which path to put you on. I was like,
Right.
no, I'm just going to take these classes. And they
Yeah.
almost wouldn't let me do it. I was like, wait a minute, I'm paying for this, right?
Right. Right.
You need to tell me no.
Yeah, I'm the paying customer here.
I want to take this and this and this and this.
Right.
Well, that doesn't put you on a path. I'm like, I'm not on a path. Don't try to put me on a path.
I'm on my own path.
I'm not on a path. I'm not graduating. It's never going to happen.
Right.
There's no way in the world. Not going to happen. But also, at that time, shortly after my first semester began, is when I got in the mortgage business.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Very young.
What made you do that?
My good buddy of mine, he was about 8 years older than me, had been working in a mortgage broker and had been seeing what they were doing. He was just casing the place basically, start his own shop.
Okay.
And then when he did, he told me, he prepped me, he said, hey, I'm gonna need you once I start this thing up. I need people who are good with numbers, good with people.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you'll do great. So he was telling me about how this was going to work and all these different things, and he started a company, and I joined him in doing it. And that was in 1999.
24 years ago.
Yeah, we were cold calling the phone book, Mike.
There we are. Okay, so here we are. We're currently October 9th, or October 10th, pardon me. We're October 10th of 2023. So it was basically 24 years ago that you got started in the business.
Yeah.
And you were calling the phone book.
Yes.
Back when they had phone books. Be
phone
careful,
book.
you're dating yourself.
I
think you just popped another gray hair in your beard. So, so I already feel old, right? Because I got started in 1992. Yeah. So, and started the mortgage business. So, yeah. So you started the mortgage business, you cold call out of the phone book. Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Was it?
It was eye opening.
Okay.
Because back then we were a refi shop.
Yeah.
And we were having to explain to people what that was. Most people didn't know what a refinance was, or that you could refinance.
Right.
When we talked to them about getting a loan for their home, they know I already have a loan.
Right.
So, yeah, I know, but what are the terms of that loan? We can make them better.
Right.
So, but how's that going to work? I don't want another loan. No, we don't want to give you another loan.
We want to replace it.
We want to pay off the old loan. And I spent most of my time explaining to people what refinancing was. Okay, that's how much the market was cornered at that time.
I love you, buddy. I really do. I'm actually writing a book starting January of 2024 on homeownership.
Okay.
And it's exactly because of that.
Wow.
It's exactly because of that. I keep coming across people that don't understand what a refinance is. They don't understand how FICO scores work. They don't understand. I spent an hour and 32 minutes on the phone with my daughter's boyfriend about a month ago. And I called my ghostwriter that's writing the book with me starting in January, and I said, I don't have an hour and 32 minutes for 330 million people.
Right.
That's why we're writing the book.
Yeah.
Right. We're writing a book on home ownership, and we're literally taking the case to millennials as to why part of the American dream needs to be home ownership again.
Good. Somebody needs to.
Well, I'm crazy enough to think I can do it. Like I can drive a national narrative, right? I've probably lost my mind. But here's the thing. We're in the midst of the single largest transfer of wealth in our nation's history. There's some $72 trillion with a T being transferred between baby boomers and their millennial kids and grandkids. 90% of that's real estate, and the millennials don't want it.
Yeah.
They don't trust it. Because when they were kids and we were going through the Great Recession, they were watching the people around them that they love. They have PTSD. They were watching the people around them that they love lose their houses to foreclosure. So they don't trust real estate. Certainly not the way we do, or value it the way we do. So this whole thing is about, this is what homeownership is about. This is how you buy a house. This is how you finance a house. By the way, when you buy a house and finance it, if something goes wrong, here's how you handle it. Here's bankruptcy, here's foreclosure, here's short sale, here's all these different options that you can use to handle the situation. It's not the end of the world, right? Because we always fear what we fear most, what we don't know. Okay?
Especially the forbearance.
So that is that's exactly why we're doing what we're doing. We're going to talk about Dodd-Frank, we're going to talk about CFPB, we're going to go into all that stuff. But it's basically designed so that they can see that even if life throws you a curveball, there's a way out. There is a way, even if you go through bankruptcy, to obtain or attain a high FICO score, 700 plus FICO score within 12 months. I've had a client do it.
Yeah.
They followed my advice. It can be done. So that's why we're writing the book. So thank you for letting me put that shameless plug in. I appreciate it. So you were explaining to people what refinancing was.
Right.
It was quite the education, I'll bet. I'll bet it was quite the deal. So you refinance a bunch of loans, it sounds like, right?
Yeah.
How did you enjoy the business? Was it something that you truly enjoyed doing?
Yeah, I loved it.
Okay.
It was great because at that time, most people had adjustable rates.
Yeah.
10, 12, 15%
Yeah.
adjustable rates. And we were doing fixed rates at 7.25 or 7.5 and making 3 or 4 points. So it was just,
So you were saving them. Let's
Great deal for
just talk about this for a second.
Yeah.
You were saving them $200, $300, $400 a month.
Yeah.
Right? And probably didn't cost them a whole ton to get this new loan. So now they were in a situation where it was a win-win all the way around.
Yeah.
Right? And they now learned something in terms of something that can be done to help solve a potential challenge.
And this is Missouri, remember? So
Yeah.
people are more focused on paying the house off than saving per month. So
Exactly.
a lot of times it was, hey, you have 27 years left. I can get you same payment for 15 years.
Yeah.
And they'd be like,
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. That's
So
pretty
a
cool.
lot of it was long-term savings and shortening loan terms from 30 to 20 or, to 15 or even
Right.
10 years.
Right.
We're doing a lot of 10-year refinance.
And back there, they don't trust lenders. They don't trust banks.
Right.
They want, in debt, they don't trust, right? They don't use debt. A lot of them don't use debt. They get rid of it as quickly as they possibly can.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Right.
Nobody wants to owe anybody.
I bet that was an interesting environment to be in the mortgage business in.
100%. Very interesting.
So quite a learning experience. So how long? Okay, so you went to Mizzou.
Yeah.
You're working in mortgage.
Yep.
Did you end up leaving Mizzou?
I did.
Okay.
After 4 semesters.
Okay.
So I worked in the business and then I went to school. So I would go to
Okay.
school in the mornings. I'd be done by noon. I'd go to the office from noon to 9 p.m.
Right.
or whatever. So
Right.
calling people
Okay.
and doing really, really well with that. And I realized that my last semester my grades were probably really bad.
Yeah.
I had a D. At that point I was checked out and I knew
Short-term syndrome.
I knew I had a career.
Yeah.
I knew I had something going that was going to be really good. I was already making money at it and doing well with it. I could see 6 figures in my future,
Mhm.
and thought, I don't need this, and just kind of exited stage left
Gotcha.
from the college scene. And I was starting to, mature a little bit more, and I ended up running the office. So I
Mhm.
became a manager when I was 20.
Right.
And that was my first time ever being in that kind of situation in an office environment.
Mm-hmm.
I had worked asset protection at Sears when I was in high school for 3 years. And so I had a lot of responsibility doing that. It's undercover security
Right.
and, dealing with things and rules and responsibility and stuff like that, having people arrested, crazy things.
Yeah.
But this was a totally different situation. The responsibility of being the leader, in an office environment is a totally different ball game.
Yeah, it is.
And so it was
And a different industry altogether. Yeah.
Yeah, and immediate kickback. Everyone else in the office, like, he's the youngest one, the least experienced. Why are you doing this? Why does he get this? Why, blah, 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 blah. So there's a lot of kickback, a lot of hate initially. But fortunately, my numbers were so good that it was easy for my buddy, who was my boss, to just say, listen, he does more business than all of you combined.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you're going to listen to him. You're going to let him teach you.
Right. This is a meritocracy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with anything except for results.
So the first mortgage company I ever worked for, I was in charge of 48 loan officers. Brand new out of the business, brand new, right? VP of production, okay? And every single one of those loan officers was older than me.
Yeah.
I was in my early 20s.
It's tough.
Right? Yeah, it really is. But it worked. I mean, we made it work. So you become a manager at 20.
Yeah.
And you're there how long?
I was there until I was 24 and a half.
We hope you enjoyed another episode of the Mike Litton Experience. If you did, do us a favor, smash that subscribe button, tell your friends, family, and coworkers about our program, and wherever you get your podcasts, please leave us a rating. It helps us to connect with quality people just like you.
And that's a wrap. Another episode of the Mike Litton Experience in the books. Reach out to Mike on Instagram at Litton Realty. Want to meet with Mike? Check out calendly.com/Rio760.